in the Bay.
Well, what was St. John's like, and what was the drive compared to today, St. John's?
The drive then, okay, in the winter time, no roads open. When the spring comes, no roads open, it goes in the winter time. And you only had part paved roads. I think, I recall, the roads were only paved from St. John's out as far as Topsail. And to go to St. John, you'd have to plan to go in the early days. That was a big event, to go to St. John's, because the tyres on the cars in the early days couldn't stand up to the rough roads, and they'd all get so many flats. And they'd always have to bring spare tyres with them in the cars to change for going in and coming out, because the road was so rough. And that went on, I suppose, until the 1940s. They get better cars and better trucks, but that was, and the other way they'd go to St. John's in those days was by train, mostly by train, especially in the winter time. And the roads would be blocked in Bay Roberts, no cars at all. Yeah. Even in St. John's, they only had a small snow collection in St. John's during that time.
Wow. What about the hockey team? Because the hockey teams travel off St. John's and other places. Did they go by train?
Yes, in those days, yes, they all went by train. Because the hockey team was actually the Bay Roberts Rovers and the team from Harbour Grace and the team from Carbonear and the team from Bell Island. That was the four main teams in Conception Bay. And they'd play off, they'd visit each rink. They all had rinks. Carbonear had their own rink, Harbour Grace, Bay Roberts and Bell Island. And then, okay, when they come to the finals, the two had the most points at the end of these playoff series they have. They go into St. John's, into the Prince's Rink. And that was a big event in our day, and we'd have to go in by train.
That's interesting.
And another thing in those days, there's very few radios.
So?
Not everyone had a radio, and everyone was interested in the Rovers winning, see? And they'd put to broadcast the games on radio. And any neighbour or so, or congregation, they would say, if you had a radio, okay, they'd all go to your house and fill up the house for listening to the hockey games by radio.
Just like if people go to watch someone's TV.
Yes, and that was big events. That was one of the biggest. That would be the biggest sporting event in Bay Roberts for that day, was these playoffs in hockey. And the Bay Roberts Rovers, they won more cups than anyone else, and they always had a good team.
Okay.
Yeah, very excellent team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have any pictures or good memories or big special things that happened with the hockey team?
Well, I just looking at this team is actually the Rover team there, and they won there in 1936. It's on the stick.
Yeah.
Now I can name it. This is Mr. Ron Snow. He's from Country Road. That's Mr. Chess Sparks from Searstown. That's Mr. Bill Norman from down here East End. That's Angus Hall. He was the mascot. That's Rube Snow, lived up there by Bishop's Road. He was from Bay Roberts. And this is my Clayton Snow. He was from Country Road, and that's his brother. And that's Ron Delaney, lived up in the West End of St. John's. Ron Delaney. He was a good hockey player. And then that's Mr. Barber. He was from Bay Roberts East. And I think that's Harry Roach from Coley's Point. And he was touted that he could have been a real professional hockey player. And he had a big shot in hockey. Yeah. And they said that if he'd been on the mainland, his caliber was he could have been an NHL player in his day if he'd been on the mainland. And that's Billy Russell, he was in the West End. And that's Hugh Atkinson, who was the manager. And that's Jack North was assistant manager of the team. Probably Mr. Atkinson, he was the manager, and say John North was the coach. And that was the team in 1936. And they were called the Bay Roberts Rovers, and then they would, I would say, all down to our history, they were the most prominent sports feature in Bay Roberts in its history.
Yeah.
Huh?
So they won in 1936.
And they won many other years. I don't know, I can't remember all of them, but I remember we used to go into St. John's on the train.
Yeah.
When you go into the hockey, and all of us could afford to go into St. John's. I happened to be into a family that we could afford. We used to go in there for 4 days.
Yeah.
You could take my uncle's Uncle Chester in St. John's, stay with him, and we looked forward to going in St. John's. And everyone around who could afford to go would go in St. John's, or had friends or relations in St. John's, they would go in for these hockey series. Because they looked forward to the big event. And when they would come out, and especially if they won the series, when they come out, the station would be filled, people around to welcome them home.
Yeah.
And that was a community thing. You didn't have radio, you didn't have television.
Yeah.
And people would gather for these special events. And it would be a big event. When these people would come home, they'd have the flags even on the train, and all the people around would be in to meet them. And then they'd drive them through the town. Most of them would be horse and sleigh or horse. They didn't have no cars in those days. They'd have to drive through the town on a horse and sleigh or horse and slide. That was some welcome. That would be a big event in our day.
Yeah. So I'm sure you got lots of great memories. What would be some of the best memories about the good times and the bad times with hockey, school, life in general?
Well, hockey was the big event. We all played hockey. We used to play hockey. The Rustlers had a rink up in the west end of Bay Roberts in my day, and we'd go up there. We'd be up there. Well, all natural ice. There was no such thing as cold storage ice. There's all natural ice, and we'd go up there in December month, and we'd be up there sometimes till March. We had the longer winters in those days, more frost. Yeah. And we'd be up there every occasion we get, and we'd go up to the hockey games. And that was the biggest other social event in Bay Roberts at the time. The people from Coley, from Country Road, from Spaniards Bay and all, and then you'd have visiting teams from St. John's and other places. And that's what filled up mostly our time in the winter time was hockey. And you could go and up we used to call it the kosh. That's the inside, the causeway going to Coley's Point.
Yeah. And
that would be frozen over in the winter time. And a lot of people watching your age and general, and people, families and young people and all, they spend a lot of time up there in the night time on this place skating. And that would be the main, between that and the lodge, the people had lodges at the time and going to church. That was the main community things going on in my day. That would be the big events.